OTB Spreads Prediction Show coming to you live on Saturday, where to smack the books, run it up, cash the slips. May 30th. We're closing in on the end of the month. We're pulling away here this week. We were floating around 500, trading days off, it felt like, all month long. Win two, lose two, win one, lose one. Felt like the days just kept going back and forth, and we were profiting a little, losing a little. And we're finally having a breakout week here, which we were looking for. We had one early in the month of May, slowed down, started the whole trade-off thing. Now we're back on, seeing the board really well, guys. So excited to see where we go today on this MLB slate. I love this slate here much more than I love today's slate. There was a lot of changing around of the pitchers, changing of the guard, I guess you could say, so to speak. But hey, man, we swept the board today on our top three plays. Braves money line, Yankees money line, and then we had the Hurricanes laying the -1.5. They put absolute belt to ass, guys. I really like the spot that we were in. With that said, we are about to jump into a big time day. We have absolute fire of a slate today, guys. Champions starting at 12 o'clock, MLB at 2, Game 7 of the Western Conference Finals. I have locks in every single one of them. I have my play of the year as well going out today. I would suggest signing up for Elite so you don't miss anything, guys. Sign up for Elite today. Go to the descriptions tab, click on the Winible link, buy my Elite Pass, use the code word EDGE. You will save some dollars. We'll lock in and we'll get those dollars right back by cashing and sweeping the locks once again. Big time day incoming, guys. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through my MLB slate here on Blowout Alert. Blowout Alert is completely free to download. Just go ahead and go to the descriptions tab, download and sign up for free today. Highly recommend you get this. The abundance of data is phenomenal. And if you don't believe me, go ahead and check out my last video, the tutorial on how to use Blowout Alert for home runs. This is simple and made easy to get an edge, and that's what we want you guys to do, beating the books and cashing at a higher rate. And that's what this software is going to do for you guys. So before we get into the MLB slate here today, man, let's just review it one last time. Cashed on the Braves play of the day, cashed on the Yankees money line lock of the day, cashed on the Hurricanes lock of the day out of NHL. Only downside spot really was our parlays. There's a couple parlays that we just didn't clip on. We had the Twins on the first 5 that cashed inside of a parlay, but then we had the Rays that cashed inside the parlay. But there's a couple other spots, like we were on the Red Sox, they took an L. Cubs were in control of that game. Yaga just could not stop giving up the long ball. 3 home runs is what beat the Cubs. The Cubs out-hit the Cardinals, but they just didn't drive in the runs. You know, they were up 4 to 3, and then a solo shot tied it up 4-4, and then in the bottom of that 5th, another solo shot took the lead, and that was all she wrote. Cardinals got a little insurance run late. But I think the Cubs find a way to win that if they're able to keep the home runs at bay. I liked that game when it was predicted to be Leahy, and it turned out to be Palante. But even then, without Palante on the bump or Leahy, they're about even in my opinion. It was just the Cubs bats, just they weren't there after the second inning. 4 runs in the first 2 innings, and then you don't do anything else for the rest of the game until late in the top of the 9th. It just wasn't there for them today on the batting side. They just gave up too many home runs. It should be a good series this weekend. I'm excited to get into this slate, guys, so let's do it now. This is the MLB prediction show. I'm going to take you through the full slate, give you my leans and my takes on where I would feel comfortable selecting a side. All right, let's get into it. First up, we have the Detroit Tigers taking on the Chicago White Sox. In this matchup on the mound today, we got Framber Valdez and Anthony Kay. Look, I like Framber Valdez a lot. If you watched my show this morning, he was the one who was supposed to be getting the start and ended up being Melton. They obviously saved him today for this matchup. You got Anthony Kay here with a great ERA, sub-5. He's playing, in my opinion, above his ceiling. He's playing really well, playing really good baseball, pitching really well. Just like look at his stats, man. ERA, he's only given up 2 earned runs in his last 5 starts. Like, I just don't know if I can look away from that, especially with the bats of the White Sox hitting the ball so well. They're one of the top teams against lefties, and their offense in the month of May has just been generating. I know it's easy to look at the Tigers and be like, hey, the Tigers are going to bring their stuff. Framber Valdez, in my opinion, has been a very good pitcher. I know he had a little bit of a weak outing his last one, but not his last one, the one before that with the 4 earned runs. That was, I believe, against who was that against? Cleveland? Yeah, the Guardians. It was against the Guardians. He has been inconsistent at times, and these bats for the White Sox have just looked so good. It's hard for me to turn my head away from those bats. I would have wanted to lean towards the Tigers here, but I think Anthony Kay could be a mismatch for the Tigers. The Tigers' bats have been hot and cold as well. I trust the Tigers' offense a little bit more, but how well the Chicago White Sox team has been playing, give me the White Sox here on the value at plus 116 on the money line to get this thing done. I think Anthony Kay comes out, has a good enough game, keeps it lower scoring, keeps these bats off the board early, and it allows the White Sox to generate some runs. Give me the White Sox on the money line here, and we'll keep it moving into the Twins and the Pirates. All right, guys, next up we have the Twins and the Pirates. I'm going to pull up the slate stack here as well, just kind of give you an idea of where we lean in some of these games. Here, Blowout Alert is leaning towards the side of Pittsburgh at 56% versus 44%. The matchup today, you got Bailey Ober and Mitch Keller. It's giving you a moderate scoring environment, so nothing crazy, nothing low either. Extra inning alert, it's not flagging an extra inning, so this one would be where you might want to look laying the -1.5 with the Pirates here. I am on the Pirates side, and I'll explain why. Mitch Keller, sub 4 ERA. Bailey Ober, sub 4 ERA. The bats have backed him up in his starts. There has been some games that he's been a little shaky. Look, 4-3 on the earned runs, 5-4, 2-3-3. He's been shaky at times, 4 in his starts this season. But the bats have backed him up. The Twins bats have been there. They were there early in the game today. They slowed down late, but we expected that. That's why we liked the Twins on the first 5, and we weren't all over them for the money line. Money line was a look, but the first 5 was what we were playing on the Twins for the simple fact that we felt Taj Bradley was the better starting option, that the bats could generate runs, and that's exactly what happened. This Twins bullpen is not good. I think with Mitch Keller, he's got good strikeout stuff, 41 Ks on the season. I think that he can pitch a good enough game and allow his bats to get out there to an early lead. I think that this team, even if they don't get out to an early lead, they can find it late like they did today and get out and get another win, because this bullpen for the Twins is so bad that this Pittsburgh Pirates team can find runs late. They just have to keep it close through the first 5 innings. So give me the Pirates here on the money line at -142 for the full game. I like Mitch Keller to get it done tomorrow, and the Pirates bats. Yeah, man, give a couple guys looks here out of this lineup. They're going to be hitting the ball tomorrow off of Bailey Ober. He's been giving up some sharp contact. He's gotten away with a couple fastballs over the plate this year that surprisingly found the outfielders and didn't go yard. He's definitely given up some sharp contact. I don't think you want to do that with these bats in the Pirates lineup. So give me the Pirates tomorrow on the money line. All right, guys, taking us into the next one here, we have the Padres taking on the Washington Nationals. This has been a pretty good series so far. In this spot, though, I'm going to have to lean the Padres. I'm going to keep it short and sweet on this one. I'm going to tell you exactly why. You got Michael King on the mound. Michael King taking on Forrest Griffin. The only advantage here and edge on the National side is this. They have some really good pesky hitters here. They always find a way to grind out runs, grind out wins. A lot of their games have typically gone over in their series over the last couple weeks. They've generated a lot of good offense. For Foster Griffin, sub 4 ERA or right around a 4 ERA, 5-2 in his starts. He is a lefty. This Padres team struggles to hit lefties, but I can't look away from Michael King. Sub 3 ERA, I think he's going to command the bump tomorrow. He's going to buy plenty of time for these bats to wake up. And even if these bats don't wake up in the first couple because they're not hitting Griffin, I think that they can win this game late. And if it's a close game late, give me the Padres bullpen as well as Tatis, Machado, and a couple of these other guys, Met Jackson, Merrill, Gavin Sheets, to find some runs, generate runs, and win this thing late. Give me the Padres on the full game money line here. That's my lean. That's my take at -130. All right, into the next one, you have Trey Savage taking on the Orioles, and the Orioles are starting Brandon Young. Brandon Young has played some really good baseball, man. Let's just take a quick look at what he's done. He's only had really one bad game where he gave up 7 earned runs to Houston. We all know that Houston can hit the ball. Houston's issue is the bullpen. It's not scoring offense, in my opinion. It is just them managing leads when they get them. This Blue Jays team is a frustrating one to handicap at times because you don't know what you're going to get with their bats. They've got really good hitters in their order, but at times these guys just can't seem to generate runs. I think Trey Savage, you look at his last game, he gave up 5 earned runs. It was his worst start since he's come back from injury. In this spot, I like where the Orioles have been with their bats. Once again, they looked good today with their bats. I think that they can kind of repeat the same energy we've seen the last few weeks. I know the Blue Jays edged them out today. The Orioles just kind of went stale in those back innings, but they got off to a hot start. I think we see more of the same. They can get to Savage tomorrow. I like the value at Camden Yards at plus 104. Brandon Young has played better in Camden. Give me the Orioles on the money line tomorrow at plus 104 against the Blue Jays. All right. Next one up, Royals, Rangers. Royals are easily starting to turn into one of my least favorite teams to bet here because when it's a good spot for them, they don't step up and generate the runs. You know, they hit the ball well, but they don't score the ball well. And that's the problem with the Royals. And it's going to be the Achilles heel for a lot of bettors this year because there's going to be times where you fade the Royals and all of a sudden they start pounding the piss out of the ball, driving in runs, hitting home runs with Perez, Witt, Pasquantino, Caglione. And there's just going to be moments where that happens. And you're like, that doesn't make any sense why it's happening. They haven't done this in weeks. I think the significant better hitters are over here on the Ranger side. I think Nimmo, Pedersen, Seager, Jung, Carter, Berger, that all of those guys can go yard. All of them can put the ball in play. All of them hit it well. Kumar Rocker, sub 4 ERA, has been playing really good baseball this season. Lugo for me is a little inconsistent to my liking. He's 1-4 in his starts. He's given up multiple earned runs in his last couple starts as well. I think this isn't a team you want to do that with. The Rangers, I know at times can go stale. They went stale just the other day when we bet them against the Astros. But look, if I'm going to put my money with the team, if I'm going to be on the wrong side with anybody, I think I'd want it to be the Rangers tomorrow here on the money line at minus 124. Fair value. I think that they're the better team. I think Kumar Rocker's the better pitcher. I like what I've seen out of Rocker this year. Give me the Rangers here on the money line, minus 124. All right, guys, moving into the Angels and Tampa Bay Rays. We're on the Rays side things today on the run line, minus 1.5. They did just that, winning at 8-5. At one point, it was a closer game than I thought it would be. Tomorrow, we have Rasmussen on the mound, taking on Reed Detmeyers. Detmeyers has been hot and cold this year. You know, he's 1-5 in his starts, 4-1 in his Rasmussen is 4-1 in his other starts. Look, I can't look away from Rasmussen. I think that this bullpen for the Rays is very good. I think that the Angels, they don't have a good bullpen, you know, and I can't look away from Detmers. I can't look away from his 1-5 record. The bats haven't been there to back him up. He hasn't looked that great this season. And on the other hand, the Rays bats are just phenomenal. Rasmussen has been consistent, 4-1 record. Go ahead and take a look at what he's done on the ERA side of things. He's not giving up a ton of earned runs. You know, he's kept it fair. And I even think in those games where, you know, he's given up 2 or 3, he has these bats that he can lean on. The offense is there for the Rays. So give me the Rays here on the money line. It might not be the sexy play at minus 152. I may stay away from the run line today just because I do think that Detmers has decent enough stuff. He could keep it close, and it could be a late game where the run line is in play. But give me the Rays here on the money line at minus 152. All right, next one up, guys. I'm going to take a sip of water real quick, doing a lot of motherfucking talking. And that's what you get when you get a 15-game MLB slate, right? So this feels like a perfect time to take a break and let you guys know that this show is brought to you by Novig. All right, spend $5 and get 50. All you have to do is use the code word on the ball. Use code word on the ball, spend 5, get 50 when you sign up with Novig, legal in majority of states throughout the United States. If you're in Texas, I highly recommend you use Novig because it gives you a great look, man. There's not a lot of books you can use down there in Texas to bet on sports, bet on game lines, bet on props. You can do that with Novig. Same in Florida. You want to get out from under Hard Rock, go ahead and grab Novig. All right, back to the show and back to making money. Let's get to it. All right, y'all. Next up, we have the Boston Red Sox taking on the Cleveland Guardians. I love what I've seen from the Red Sox in the month of May. I love what I've seen in the month of May from the Red Sox. Sonny Gray's on the mound, in my opinion, best starting pitcher in the Red Sox rotation. Parker Messick. Yeah, my girl's just over here dancing around, distracting me, man, being an idiot. But Parker Messick has been a great pitcher. He's a lefty. Look, I typically see lefties and I automatically give an edge to the team that doesn't hit lefties well. And we know that the righty pitcher in Sonny Gray is more gettable for the Guardians lineup. But this is the thing. Chris Sale pitched against this team just the other day. They had to have Sale exit the game early with the Braves. Boston Red Sox, if you look at the track record in the month of May, have actually hit lefties better than they've hit righties. I think that this team that's been hitting the ball really well in the month of May is going to show right back up. They lost today, 3-4 game, close game, hit it really well, just couldn't generate any runs late. The Guardians, they scored 4 runs in the first, and that was all she wrote. They didn't score again. I think that this Red Sox team, it'll be a different story tomorrow with Sonny Gray on the mound. They're not going to be able to jump out to a 4-0 lead and just hold on to it and hope and pray. The Red Sox, I like their bats tomorrow. I like them in this spot, and I especially like the value on the money line at plus 114. Give me the Red Sox here to get a win and even this series up 1-1. All right, guys, moving into the next play. It's Miami Marlins taking on the Mets. We got Christian Scott on the mound for the Mets, and you got Tyler Phillips on the mound for the Marlins. So look, we've got Tyler Phillips here. Let's just take a quick look at some of his starts here. Innings pitched, he's more of a relief pitcher than anything. 3-4 innings max. He doesn't go deep into ball games. This is going to be a bullpen game. Christian Scott here, 5-4-4-4. He's going to get you more production than what Tyler Phillips is going to get you. I trust the Miami Marlins bullpen more than I trust the Mets bullpen. So if it's bullpen versus bullpen, I trust the Marlins. If it's bats versus bats, I know the Mets bats have woken up here as of late. We saw 2 home runs from the Mets today, and we saw Stowers hit a bomb today as well. We saw Marcy hit a bomb. You know what I mean? We've seen some guys hit bombs off this Marlins team. These bats for the Marlins have been there all month long, in my opinion. I think Christian Scott is a gettable pitcher for this Miami Marlins roster. I think that if it's bullpen versus bullpen, bats versus bats, I think the edge goes to the Miami Marlins. It's not a favorite play by any means on the day, but plus 116 on the money line to a team that's really been hitting the ball well with the Miami Marlins. I'm going to lean that side, give me the Miami Marlins on the money line. All right. We only got a couple more games, or I said a couple more games. We still got a full fucking slate, big stack slate tomorrow, guys. It really is a lot of ball game and a lot of things to go through here. So please make sure you watch the show. Listen to what we're talking about here on the Ball Spreads Prediction Show. We got the Brewers and the Astros coming up next here, but there is a lot of data to go through. Download Blowout Alert, description tab, and then click on the link Blowout Alert, sign up for free, upgrade to Elite, go over here to the slate stack. It'll show you exactly what you need to look at, give you all of the breakdowns. And we'll go over here now for this game just to take a quick peek at what it's saying. What do we got here? We're just on Boston, Cleveland. So the next one up, Miami, New York, Milwaukee, Houston. All right. It's given a 49% lean to Houston, 51% lean over here to the Brewers. You got Brandon Sprout on the mound, right-handed pitcher, taking on, I believe it's Lambert, right? Are they saying it's going to be Lambert? Here it's saying Bolton. The MLB app is showing Lambert. But look, that doesn't sway me either way. I think Brandon Sprout is the better pitcher. I like what I've seen. This does have extra run alert, kind of. It's given it a 30 out of 40 ranking. It's when it's above 35 that it may go to extra innings and you want to stay away from the spread. I think here in this spot, Brandon Sprout, he has been good with his strikeout stuff this year, averaging over 5 in almost every game. I know he's had some ERA issues here as of late on his last 3 starts, but I look for this to be a bounce back game. I know the Astros hit the ball really well. They score the ball well, but I trust Brandon Sprout. I trust the bullpen with the Brewers. I'm not going to overthink this one. I'm going to go Brewers here today on the money line at minus 108. I think this, as a coin flip game, 50-50 game, the edge goes to the Brewers. Give me the bullpen. Give me the team that's not scared to play small ball. They're not scared to sack bunt, not scared to sack fly, hit and run, steal bases, get guys in scoring position. I think the small ball pays off here for the Brewers tomorrow, and I think Brandon Sprout has a good enough game to keep these boys and these bats at bay. So give me the Brewers on the money line at minus 108. All right, we got the Braves taking on the Reds. I keep going on and on about these bats in the Braves lineup, but you got to respect the Reds and what their bats can do as well. Brady Singer, 6.2 ERA, taking on, it's not Spencer Strider. It's going to be Marcel Perez tomorrow. I'm almost positive of it with the projected lineup by MLB. But even then, Perez has had a really good season so far. Sub 3 ERA. He's 2-3 in his starts. I like him enough to where I'm going to go right back to the well. I'm going to go to the Braves here. I'm not scared to bet on the Braves again. I know it was a play of the day moment for us today. I'm not saying it's play of the day again, but I do think that Perez and the bats to the Braves can get to the Reds once again, outscore them over the course of 9 innings and get the win. So give me the Braves on the money line here, and we'll keep it moving. All right, man. This was a play that kind of let me down today. I really liked the Cubs in this spot, but I'm going to like them even more today because the original read was Leahy, and they're facing Leahy. And I think Ben Brown has been fantastic this season. Sub 3 ERA, 40 Ks, not the best strikeout stuff, but Leahy, he's got some regression concerns, and he's already shown us in his last few starts that's happening. He had 5 in this game. All of these single digits are way above his ceiling. He had those mid games there, 2, 3, 4, 3. Then he got back to playing, above his ceiling. I think we will see more of this 3, 4, 5 type games coming out of Kyle Leahy moving forward. I just trust the bats of these Cubs when they face weak pitchers, they can get to them. And we all know that Leahy is a righty. The Cubs are going to hit righties way better than lefties. Give me the Cubs here on the money line to get one back in this series against the Cardinals this weekend. Even this thing up 1-1. Cubs on the money line at -134. Next one up, San Francisco Giants taking on the Colorado Rockies. This game here, man, was a disappointment if you're on the Giants side. I lean towards the Giants today. Reason being the pitching. I originally was leaning a little bit towards the Rockies, but I didn't trust Lorenzen as the starting pitcher. I don't trust Feltner as the starting pitcher. I do trust Hauser a little bit more than I trust Feltner. I know neither of these guys got world beater ERAs, but these bats they're starting to wake up a little bit for the Giants. We're starting to see them drive in more runs, get on base more. The home run power isn't there yet for these guys. They've got guys who can hit the home run ball in Chapman, Devers, Schmidt, Adames. They just haven't been executing the long ball. If the long ball gets going and the Giants start hitting some home runs in Coors Field where the ball travels further, we should see the Giants be able to get an easy win. I like the Giants here in this spot with Hauser on the mound. Give me the Giants on the money line here at -120. Give me the Giants on the money line. All right, we've got a couple games left, 3 more on the slate, man. And whew, what a doozy and what a fucking day we got. Like I said, guys, download Blowout Alert. I'm not covering all the batting signals today. I'm not going through the hits, all the player props, what the value plays are, the home runs. Those will be in my premium plays. But you just click up here on these tabs and it will give you exactly what you're looking for. You can set it over here to DraftKings and it'll give you exactly what you're looking for on the value plays. So I'll give you one right here. It's saying take a look at Nathan Lukes off of Toronto for a hit tomorrow. Take a look at Wilson Contreras for a hit tomorrow off of the Boston Red Sox. So there's a couple value plays for hits. You got the batter signals for home runs. Maybe one guy off of there for you would be load up, load up, load up. It's not doing it. There we go. Jordan Alvarez, he's always going to be at the top. Let's see if we find somebody down here that I really like. Pajes, Andy Pajes. I kind of like him. He feels due, and he's in a matchup that's gettable. Maybe Luzardo, you find him to go yard. Or Alvarez has got a great matchup tomorrow. Anybody on the second page with a nice big advantage? It looks like they're saying Drake Baldwin. I don't know if Baldwin's playing tomorrow, but you might want to target somebody out of that lineup. Michael Harris might be a look. But hey, guys, New York Yankees, A's. Let's get back into the slate and talk about that and not player props. If you want my sequence player props, I'm going to do all the work for you. Just go ahead and sign up. Descriptions tab. Click on the Winible link. Use code word EDGE when you buy any of my premium passes. Ryan Weathers, JT Ginn. I thought JT Ginn has played really well all season long. His stats are there that he's backing it up. Look at this ERAs. He's keeping it low scoring. I know he's not throwing a lot of strikeout stuff outside of that 10K game, but man, he has played really good ball. He's keeping the score down, keeping it low. But this Ryan Weathers kid, man, he has played really good baseball, decent strikeout stuff. Hasn't had a lot of bad games where he's given up a lot of earned runs. He's had the 5 here, the 5 here. Outside of that, it's been 1 or 2 every single game. I think that the bats, the Bronx Bombers, man, they're here. They're hitting the ball really well. We saw them show up in a big way today. I think we see them show up again tomorrow against JT Ginn. Ryan Weathers is going to have a good enough game. He keeps those A's off the board and allows his bats to get to work and generate some early runs. We know the Yankees play really good baseball when they get out to an early lead. If they can do that tomorrow like they did today, watch out. Yankees may run away with it once again. Give me the Yankees at -155 on the money line against JT Ginn and the Athletics. Last 2 games of the night, y'all. We have the Diamondbacks taking on the Mariners. You got Brian Wu on the mound. Y'all know I am a big Brian Wu believer, taking on Arizona Diamondbacks with Ryan Nelson. Ryan Nelson now had a decent start in his last outing. We were on the side of the Diamondbacks in his last outing. And the Diamondbacks, squeezed that one out just barely. Was that the win? No, I don't think we were on that one. We had a Ryan Nelson win here recently. I can't remember which one it was. It was not this Colorado matchup though. But look, he had a decent outing. 8 innings pitched, 7-7, 6-5-5. He's going to deep into ball games, playing good baseball so far. I don't believe we were on that Colorado Rockies one on the 24th, but I could be mistaken. Look, I think Ryan Nelson's been giving good production. He's a righty. I'm not going to go sit here all day and talk about how good he is and that he's a lean and he's an edge. I think that the true edge is Brian Wu. The dude commands the plate. He has great accuracy. I know he's had some bad ERAs in his last couple starts, 7, 6, 2, and 4. But when he does play well, it's zero. He's not giving much up. I think tomorrow against these bats, he can get to the Diamondbacks. I know they've been hitting the ball really well as of late, but Brian Wu has great strikeout stuff. He commands the plate. I trust the offense with guys like Crawford, Rodriguez, Naylor, Luke Riley, Randy Arozarena. Damn, I fucking struggled to say that one. Cole Young, Canzone. I just trust this hitting lineup with the Mariners, led by Wu off of the mound, more than I do with the Diamondbacks. Give me the Mariners on the money line. All right, last play of the night. We're going to keep it short and sweet. I'm not going to get into this one too much. Hopefully, this one makes sense to you guys and why I'm going this route. Sasaki, even though he struggles with his control at times and walks batters, Sasaki is still, in my opinion, the better pitcher on the mound tomorrow versus Luzardo. Luzardo is a lefty, but like I said before, the Dodgers don't struggle to hit either side of the plate. They can hit lefties, they can hit righties. Luzardo has done really well with his ERA as of late. Sasaki does get a little bit wild, but this is my take and this is my lean. This Phillies team has really struggled at the bottom of their order. The bottom of their order has not generated runs. Outside of Schwarber, outside of Turner, outside of Harper, they're not doing anything. They're relying on three guys to score runs. The reason why Philly is winning low scoring games, 3-0 the other day against the Braves, right? Is that what was the score? Is that who they played recently? Might have not been the Braves. There was a team that they played recently, they beat 3-0. I think it was the Padres. That's who it was. It was the Padres. They beat the Padres 3-0. That's the type of games that the Phillies are winning. And I just don't think that the Phillies are going to be able to get that type of game with the Dodgers. The Dodgers are going to generate runs. Luzardo, even being a good pitcher and playing really well as of late, and Sasaki, who has a tendency to walk some batters and put guys in scoring position, I don't believe these guys can drive in the runs tomorrow as well as these guys can. They're hitting the ball. The bats feel like they've woken up. They started to wake up at the back end of that Giant series, and they've kind of been rolling ever since. So give me the Los Angeles Dodgers here on the money line tomorrow. May not be the sexiest bet, but I think they get it done at -131. Give me the Dodgers led by Sasaki on the mound with a team that really just hasn't been able to score the ball. So yeah, that's it. That's the take. That's the show, guys. Hopefully you found the information useful. All I ask you to do is make sure to drop a like, make sure to subscribe, and yeah, let's have a better day than we did today. We had an absolute fantastic day on our top plays, but overall the slate was a little lacking. Let's see if we can get a little bit sharper today, call a couple more wins, and book the fucking one way. Let's make some money. See y'all in the next one.